Welcome to another day of Ether Raids. We are taking on a team here. We're going to give Marth a try because I don't have. Well, I mean, it just makes sense to use Marth on this team. There's not a crazy amount going on here aside from Camilla and the Embla of it all. So we're going to just throw Marth. There's really not anyone that I want to use to try to tank Camilla unless I have some type of miracle support, and I haven't been bringing that with me. It would mean getting a team with Follow Maria or moving Rhea onto offense, which I kind of don't want to do. So yeah, the other option is just Advantage, and we saw that doesn't go so great. I mean, remember the last time we tried to Vantage Athos and got blown up, so definitely gonna have to be kind of selective in terms of how we go about that this week. Athos has been kind of problematic actually, which is kind of bizarre because he is just a defense mythic. He's not like I don't know, like he's not like super meta dominant as someone like Camilla is, but he's actually still very strong as a defense mythic. He came out like what, January, February, somewhere around there. He's still pretty decent at what he does. So all we got to do here is avoid Camilla's range, even though I kind of still don't remember exactly how far it is, but it looks like we're good here. Marth will get the Vantage off, and we should be able to win this GG's. I don't know what we would do if Camilla had Hardy Bearing, because like I said, I don't really have anyone. The majority of my... maybe I should pull that one unit on that Thracia banner that has Vantage built in. That might be a good option to try to counter Camilla. But anyways, most of my options don't have... Or also Alir. Now let's keep Alir in the season that he's in. I have male Alir in light season. But yeah, most of my options are blue. Most of my Omni tanks are blue. I don't have a ton of red Omni tanks. Or green for Erica's also in that season, and then the only other green Omni tank I have is Baby Tiki, and she is a big disappointment. So I try to avoid using her as much as possible. I don't know why she's so bad. Like, I look at it and there's so much stuff there and it just looks like it should work, and then it just doesn't work the majority of the time. She has 3 spaces, Hardy Bearing built in, a lot of stuff in there that's just so good, but like she just dies so often. I think it has to do with like the HP pool that she has, but then looking at her kit, it's kind of designed for her defensive and res bulk to just counteract that, to where she just takes less damage, but as a tank you just need more health. And that's one of the main ways that she dies all the time. The hit she just reduces a ton of damage off of, but it's usually not enough to allow her to survive, and it's kind of unfortunate. But I don't know. Let's see. Ooh. Okay, so this is actually not a bad team in regards to what Happy is able to do. So Happy is AoE damage, Nagi 80% AoE damage reduction, and then Rhea also has AoE damage reduction. So it's very impressive that we're still able to get this KO on Nagi, who I think I mentioned before, just falling off a cliff in terms of usability, versatility. After she got released on the Halloween banner, I think, let's say about maybe 2 months she was good for. And then Rhea came out and that was just it for Nagi. Like, I don't know. I still think she's a very good unit. Maybe the only thing that's missing is a better Dragon B skill that would allow her to be tankier, because she has all the pieces. It's just that she dies so often. I don't know why she keeps doing that. I had to check which Ather that was. It was actually, she looks so similar to the mythic one, but I thought it was the mythic one actually, but it looks like it's not. But yeah, Ather just keeps Nagi just keeps dying, and it's really really unfortunate. But yeah, we're going through.
Why wait?
Very happy that we're able to use Happy. For this week at the very least, all I had to do was swap out Celica and put Happy in, and it's going okay so far, at least for this match. Don't know what the plan is for the rest of the week. I think I have all of my teams for this week It's just that I feel like they're a little bit samey, and I kind of want to switch up a couple of them. There's one, the melee Gale Force team is kind of lacking. It's very dependent on Camilla and Thor. I swapped out Felix for Happy to see if I could get that interaction to work where she would warp in the Beast and Dragon units that are on the team, but the Beast and Dragon units that are on that team don't Gale Force, so it's kind of counterproductive. But she's on that team, and I'm going to try to figure out a way to make it work. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I swap her out. There's also Sakura as an option, but I don't know. I feel like I dislike Sakura. Why do I dislike Sakura? And Happy kind of does the same thing, but in reverse. But for some reason, I feel like I dislike Sakura. I don't know if it was because she twirled on me last week and took out, well, not last week, a week before, and took out Elm in that one match. I just warped all the way across the map pretty much just to take out Elm. I don't know if that's why, but I feel like my dislike has been going on for a little bit before that for Sakura. Yeah, there's something about her that I just don't like. I don't know if it's the fact that she's a ranged healer. I don't know if it's the archetype. I don't know if it's the fact that it takes so much. It takes an action to get all of her stuff to work. I don't know if that's what I like. Units like Seteth here, who just stands there and does his job. Whereas Sakura kind of also does that, but you don't get everything unless you do the Ice Lock thing or Magic Shield. So yeah, I don't know. There's something about Sakura that I just don't like. And that's really why I'm not using her like a ton. So we got all the pots here. Not really much else to do, so just gonna chill out and see what happens. Who Ather here chooses to attack, and then we move from there. She attacks herself. That's great. I really like this Summer Ather. The art is fantastic. I've said it so many times before, but yeah, this Summer Ather is fantastic. And it's good. It's a battle of bulk here. Battle of thickness. Who's the thicker Ather? I think mine is, because, you know, I just won. And now all we gotta do is take out Rhea to close out the match. Yeah, good match. Pretty straightforward one. I think I got a couple of matches to play, actually. At least 3. So this is one, I got 2 more. Because I have skipped a couple of days. So this is what I was talking about, Rhea with her AoE damage reduction. We didn't even get her down to 1 with the AoE. And then also, she's not a dragon, so she essentially counters everything that Happy is offering to be able to take her out. If she had this encounter, Happy would have died there. So Rhea is still like top tier. Oh, second best? So we have Black Knight, Rhea. I don't know who's in between those two. So still, second best far save, or save in general in the game. I guess Alir is somewhere up there, following Alir, but Rhea I think is still better because of everything that she does. Very, very good. But yeah, we take her down, and we're gonna load in another match. GG's. Okay, here we go. Another match for today. I'm gonna go with the Lin team. Should be pretty easy, this one. We're gonna take off the units. I think there is a far save, actually. I think Na is the far save, but we have Elm here, so it should be okay. Ather on this team just to cleanse penalties off Lin with the swap, and you know, she gets the extra bulk. And then if needs be, I can probably just use Ather as a frontline unit, which is something that this team is kind of lacking. But I don't think she'll stick around. I dropped the triangle attack of this team because I was just like looking at it or thinking about it. The majority of the KOs that I'm getting with Lin, I'm not necessarily using the 5 hits. It's really just like 3. There are times when I need all 5 to take out like Athos or a Hathorn or something, but rarely do I actually use all 5 hits. So I decided just to remove the triangle attack altogether and get some extra support in there in terms of attack power for Lin. Maybe what would be better is if I could get an extra dancer in here. Really what it does, it frees up a slot so that I can rotate around this team a bit more, because whenever Thor or Mirabilis or Elm aren't in season, I essentially can't use this team. Or when it was in its previous configuration with Cordelia, this team was just not usable sometimes. So this will allow me some flexibility in terms of being able to use this team more often, where the slot that Hathern is in is now a flex slot, and I can just bring in whatever bonus unit is available onto this team and it should work just fine. Well, hopefully, as long as it is, 5 hits versus 3, there is a reduction in the firepower, but hopefully it's not too much of a negative when we go into matches. So yeah, there is going to be some shenanigans here. I'm going to see if I can stop Mirabilis from dancing, and there's a bit of range extension here on Halloween Naui that I gotta look out for. I think it should hit the spot that Hathern is in, and I think Hathern should be able to tank enough. So yeah, we're gonna rock it up like this, and then see what happens. I think this should be good enough. It depends on what Naui does, but I think it should be enough of a range extension for someone to reach. So let's see. Okay, yep, that's about what I thought. And oh, he's doubling. 87. Alright. Ather, Ice Wall. Wow. Wow, okay. Did not expect Athos to blow Hathern up like that. Wow. Okay, let's play another one. Alright, here we go. That was a big surprise. I didn't expect that to happen. Athos, I guess I underestimated him a bit there. Really thought Hathern would have been able to survive the hit from Athos there, even though it was a special. I guess she probably lost a defense check or something. Well, I don't know, but that was a 124. That was a big number for a unit that just came out on the summer banner, who was supposed to be bulky. Granted, I didn't give her as much support as is possible, but I really didn't expect her to die by that much. That's insane. But yeah, here we go. I wonder if she can survive against Camilla if I give her Hardy Bearing. Can beast units run Hardy Bearing? I think they can. I wonder if Hathern can live one hit against Camilla if I were to give her Hardy Bearing. I think that's something that this team... Essentially, I put her on the team to replace Brave Marth just for this week, I think. I don't know, maybe even permanently, because it depends on what the seasons are going to hold, because I feel like I need a range unit on this team, which is why Happy is here. But then I feel like I also need a second tank on this team, which is why Hathern is here. And then also she provides the Divine Nectar, which is why this team is now able to function against teams that have Sigurd or some type of AoE damage on them. So yeah, I feel like she's... Ooh, man. Camilla. The mobility is really annoying. Look at the spaces that she moved just to take out my Plumeria. Jesus. Man, that's annoying. And I could have... Well, I think she would have still been in range. Man, that's annoying. And I could have put her over the other side too. Yeah, that's unfortunate. And also, this is the reason that Hathern is on this team as well, because it allows Marth to get back to full health, even if he's getting inflicted with Fatal Smoke to prevent him from healing. So he's just healing over combats now and doing his job very, very well at that. Man, Bandage is very strong, but Camilla is gonna force me to surrender here because that was annoying. Okay, let's do this again. Still need to win another match. I got 2 matches left to play, and we're gonna keep going here. We're gonna throw Tamara up here. Old units, very old units, which is something that you can expect in the lower tiers of Ether Rage at this point. So yeah, hopefully Tamara doesn't mess up, and or hopefully I don't mess up with like placement or anything. But Tamara should be able to solo the entire team here. We're also going to give a try to the Micaiah support, the no counter disrupt C skill that Micaiah has to allow Tamara to be able to counterattack against Leon's sweep effect. So we're going to give that a shot as well. Like, I honestly completely forgot that Micaiah had that in her C skill. And yeah, like, it's not a horrible, it's like she's trying to mimic what the Allirs do, and I think it's good that we have null counter disrupt in a C option, in a C skill option now, because I feel like it's needed. It depends on how many people start to fodder Micaiah. Honestly, I don't think she's that great of a unit, so I wouldn't really blame anyone for foddering her. If I'm being completely honest, I don't think she's that great in comparison to, let's say, Legendary Micaiah or Attuned Micaiah. I feel like is better support. It's really just what she does, that swap and heal thing that Ymir does, that allows her to be as good as she is, or allows people to regard her so highly. But I still think like maybe Attuned Micaiah is just as good, if not better. I don't want to say damage-wise, maybe they're kind of similar there, but in terms of versatility and use cases, uses the ways to use her, I feel like Attuned Micaiah might actually still be the best Micaiah. I don't know, I might be wrong on that one. You know, maybe it's just preference in terms of what you know, users like to play, who users like to play with more. And then also Attuned Micaiah can't run this echo thing that is allowing Tamir to counterattack the Leon here. So pros and cons, but I still think I prefer Attuned Micaiah, even though her color matchup isn't the greatest because she's green, and we're in a meta where the best unit is red, and he will destroy her, regardless of how much damage she puts out. So yeah, this one's going pretty well. As to be expected, Tamara is healing back nicely. Man, I think I've messed up my... either the charging case for my headphones or the headphones themselves are now damaged. I don't know which it is, but it might be the charging case if I'm thinking about it. It might be the charging case, because... which is still a problem because it means that one of the headphones just isn't charging. It's really annoying.
Yes.
I wasn't looking forward to buying a new one. It's lasted me quite a long time, if I'm being... I bought this like last year, March, so about a year. It's pretty good for headphones that I wasn't even that high on. Like I was always I prefer the headphones in my ear, or like the cords, the one with the cords, because it's harder for them to get lost. But then also the ones that I bought, they're the over the ear model, and they don't look that gross, and they're not like completely uncomfortable as some of them can be. So I don't know, I'll probably just get another pair of the same ones. Hopefully there's no defects. And then what that means is then I can reuse the case that the new one comes in, and just toss out this old case. That way I can always have a pair that's charging.
They will submit.
Because I suspect it's the charger in the headphone case that's somehow damaged. I don't know how it got damaged, but it's not charging the left side of the headphones, and it's annoying. I gotta wiggle it sometimes, and it does do a thing, but I don't think it has much longer left in it. But anyways, yeah, Tamara is doing her job, or rather has done her job admirably. So we're gonna just back up here so that we can get the pots, and then close out the match and get out of here. I think this is a okay number 2 match to get. And I also keep forgetting that Tamara has that bulwark built into her weapon. She has a lot of things going for her, but I think the current where we are in the game right now, I feel like the power has surpassed her. Like I wouldn't necessarily want to use her against some of the stronger defenses, like you saw the weekend earlier. I feel like that was just like not a matchup that she was going to be able to win without more support. And as I said, I tested with Sedith, and Sedith is definitely better in comparison to Naga. If I could have both of them on the same team, fantastic. But if there's only one slot available, then it should probably go to Sedith. He's been allowing her to live a lot more things, and that's definitely what you want your Omni Tank to do, survive. So yeah, we're gonna, having Elm come in as the extra slot unit is actually very good because he's a flyer and he moves three spaces. It makes it a lot easier to get the pots in most situations. Or he can even move once, hit someone with undefended, and then go get the pots or then attack or whatever. I think he's a fantastic offensive unit. If used right. It's just sometimes he's not used right. And unfortunately, again, the safety fence is on turn 3. I'd really love to get him out there by turn 2 instead of having to wait on turn 3. But I mean, we take what we can get. I still think that is an upgrade that they're going to do at some point. They're going to change the safety fence from turn 3 to turn 2. GG's. See you in the next one.